The goyim.
Suds and buds, suds and buds, buds, on podcast. Hey.
Welcome back to Suds and Buds podcast. I am Buds.
And I am Suds. No can this time.
Oh, that's what I was waiting for. Well, welcome back. This is what episode? Something or other.
8.
8? Yeah, 8. Thank you, Suds, for being on top of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna count the numbers.
I'm gonna count the numbers. How high can you count?
At least 12.
At the very least 12.
At least.
Well, what comes after 12?
3 team? 3 team?
Yes,
Wait,
3 teens. Suds.
Yeah? Yes. Got it. Got him.
Got him. Anyway, I believe we have a returning segment to kick off this episode.
Oh, we have one of my favorite segments returning today, and that is Christian News.
One more time.
Christian News.
Yeah. Like that.
Get copyrighted. We got about 2 seconds of Kesha.
You know, according to my audio business classes, it's actually totally bullshit. They can still sue us for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna put our regular Kesha News music in there. Yeah.
That's why I put it in there, obviously.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love you for it.
Stop you.
But yes, anyway, Kesha released a new song a couple days ago.
Yes, her third song in the past 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Learn to Let Go.
Learn to Let Go. Gonna be on her new album, Rainbow.
Yeah, Rainbow. As I quoted, Kesha said in an interview, "I wrote Rainbow when I wasn't feeling the rainbow."
Well, I mean, she probably should have been eating more Lucky Charms, but ayo.
Ew, Rainbow. Ew. No, but I you know.
Yeah.
I respect that. I respect that kind of positive attitude. Like, okay, things will get better. I'll write songs about things getting better, and then eventually things do get better. And you know, like that's cool. That's great.
And it's not.
I admire the tenacity.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing I like about this one is, yes, it's like cheesy pop and whatnot and stuff and things, but it's definitely not as cheesy as Let It Go. Like
Kesha, what?
Yeah.
Cheesy pop?
Yeah.
Kesha makes cheesy pop? What?
Well, that's the kind of genre she ends up falling in. I'm not saying that she is cheesy pop. I'm just saying that's kind of, she wins Grammys. Who wins Grammys?
She's always been consistently the cheesiest of pop.
Yeah, yeah, no. There are other artists that are much cheesier than she is.
She's branched out, to be fair. Like, I learned to let it go, like this song, and her first single in the last 4 years, Praying.
Yeah.
Those are her maturing, her branching out. Mm-hmm. To be honest, I don't like those songs. As much as they show like this maturing, I will take
Old School
We're Gonna Die Young over those any day of the week.
Yeah. Honestly, we may disagree here, because I do, as much as I love old Kesha, I do have to say I greatly respect and I have been jamming out to these songs, even Praying. For the past week or so. I'm really enjoying this new kind of light that she's got going on. Yeah.
I mean, I respect it. Don't get me wrong. I love the kind of positive mess. Like, she's had this long legal battle with Dr. Luke.
Yeah,
and like she had to fight this long legal battle just to use her name again. She finally won.
Yeah, and luckily she used the $sign in her name the first time around.
Well, We talked about that in a previous episode.
Yeah.
I kind of looked it up, and it was more like I was kind of wrong. like, like Kesha was under copyright, and like after this legal battle
Mhm.
with Sony.
I believe it was Sony.
I don't know. I don't know who it was.
It was one of their
But basically,
subsidiaries.
She won the right to use her own name again for music.
Mhm.
Kesha.
Mm.
Even though she changed it around, she still won
Mhm.
that right back. So that is great.
Well, yeah, probably to just solidify her, you know, being able to do it, that kind of thing. That's probably why she went and did that. But yeah, no, dude, 20 years, and I think Kesha is going to be the thing we disagree on. Well, not even entirely. It's just
20 years.
in 20 years, Suds. Kesha, I like new Kesha. You
I
prefer
like-
old Kesha.
I like 18-year-old Kesha who's just talking about getting smashed.
Yeah, and like brushing your teeth with Jack Daniels.
A bottle of Jack.
Yeah, like cheap
Yeah.
whiskey.
Exactly.
Don't get me wrong. I was. Oh, fuck. How old was I when that song came out? When did that song come out?
That was
TikTok
like
and-
2012 ish,
2012?
2013 maybe.
Oh,
This
hey,
all
this
happened
is-
about 5 years ago.
This is Kesha news, so we can't be getting our Kesha.
You can't speculate.
Yeah. Let's see. Hits. I'm just gonna look up her hits. TikTok was in 2010.
Damn, that was way longer than I thought.
Yeah.
So she was about
2010.
18, 19 at that time.
Really?
Yeah, she like got started.
Information from World Time Clock.
Shut up. Yeah, she was.
No, she's
she
30. She's older than me. That's what.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
There's no way. I don't.
Born in
believe-
87.
She got started when she was like 18, like right off the top.
Yeah,
of the
no,
bat.
she got started when she was 18, but she hit a few years later. Here's how I know. In watching the last video, Learn to Let Go, she's got video of her like looking like she's a 2-3-year-old in 1990 and 1991. I
Yeah,
was
there's
I
stuff
was
about
just
1991.
born. So
I
like
was not even born when
Yeah.
she like posted. I was like. 16.
yeah, so she's a couple years older than me. She's still gorgeous. Love her. She's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking I love everything that she does. And not in a
Okay.
weird like creepy sense. I just really appreciate her music. I appreciate,
Okay,
you know, what she does.
Okay, I got it. She began in 2005 at age 18.
Yeah.
Signed to Dr. Luke.
Okay.
So I think you're right. I think she's older than I thought she was.
Well, yeah, if we're looking at the same Wikipedia page, look over to the
Yeah,
right.
she's exactly 30
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
She was born in 87.
Mhm.
You're correct. Okay. Good call. Good call.
I was like, she has to be a little bit older than I am if those video dates are correct. Which I mean, on VHS you can't really, you know. I mean, you could fake them nowadays, but what the fuck would be
why
the
would you?
point? Yeah, why would
Yeah.
you? Yeah. So when I was 20, that shit was popping off.
Yeah, she's about like 3 to 4 years older than me.
Yeah, this is 23.
But when she was
that
TikTok, she was still like younger than we are now. She was like 23, like you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, 23, 24. Which I mean is incredible. Like you look at how far she's come from that because we are who we are. TikTok, that young, you know.
Just how much she like took off at a very young age.
Yeah, I'm looking at
Pretty-
all of her hits, and every
and she
single one of
continued
her
to write
hits.
music for other artists after that, after the whole legal shit.
Yeah, she continues, and she continues to this day. She's, you know.
And I read somewhere she got this crazy SAT score, which I think we already talked about.
Yeah, she is pretty smart.
She's smarter than she looks.
she's
I'll
smart.
just acknowledge
Yeah, she's
that and
smarter
move
than her
on.
public persona would lead to be.
Exactly.
Yeah, would lead people to believe. Yeah, no. Yeah, so that new song, guys, go check it out. It's pretty good.
It's okay.
At least I think so. You know, hey,
Okay.
learn to let go. This is definitely going to be a very cathartic album, and I'm very into catharsis when it comes to like music.
No, for sure.
It's a very
It's-
complex
it's great.
emotion.
Yeah, I mean that's all of kind of what the movie Inception is based on. Catharsis.
Inception?
Yeah.
Really?
Because there's a whole scene where like Leonardo DiCaprio is like, okay, we can like try to like incept this idea of revenge, but like catharsis is stronger than revenge. And that's
Oh yeah.
kind of like what their idea is kind of
Mhm.
based on.
Yeah. I got to admit, I'm a huge fan of the feeling of catharsis. I love having those moments.
It's
Just
a pretty vague feeling, I feel like.
it's to me, I don't know. It's maybe because I've been able to hone in on it, but like I do things that are cathartic almost on a daily basis, and it really helps propel my personality forward.
Well, that is good.
Yeah, like it's basically I'm putting myself on the edge, philosophically, not necessarily physically. I'm not really. I don't even ride roller coasters anymore.
What?
Yeah, no, just
Okay, my
not
favorite
into it
moment of
anymore.
catharsis is when I'm riding Montu, and during that first loop, like
Screaming your head off.
no,
No?
during that entire first loop, like my vision just drops out for a good like 10 seconds.
Yeah, you
Like,
probably shouldn't ride a roller coaster if that's happening.
no, I love it. It's great. It's great that I like almost pass out. I'm so close. I'm so close to death. Death.
Well,
Like everything,
yeah.
all my senses kind of like are suspended, and then they pop right back up into being, and now I'm like screaming my head off. It's fantastic.
Really? Well, hey, if that's what provides the catharsis for you, then there you go. For some people,
Yeah.
it's like skydiving. You know, when they land, they're just like, I've escaped death. Because I was just watching.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to skydive, but
You
I
do?
don't want to skydive.
Well, if you ever do, I will go to the place with you, but you have fun on the plane. Like, I'm good from the ground.
I have a pretty bad fear of heights, though. Like, I'm just like I don't like heights. I'm very uncomfortable. Like if I'm like on a railing above like a very high area, like even though I know I'm not gonna fall off, I just feel very nauseous. I
Suds.
don't like flip out or anything, but I'm not. Makes me feel very uncomfortable.
Suds.
Yes.
I'm gonna explain a little bit of a time period for you. May of 2008, Daytona Beach.
Shit.
Do you remember when we were there with that weird church group that we hung out with?
Oh, I remember. Oh,
And we
I had
walked
a
down
weird
to that
experience.
7-Eleven and we bought
Yeah.
those Spike energy drinks?
Oh my god,
Do you
I had the
remember?
same experience you did.
Yeah.
I know what you did that. I had the same experience.
Yeah, but at the exact same time because we bought them at the same time. We walked back up to our third or fourth story rooms, drank them, was standing out on the balcony, and immediately both of us felt vertigo.
This energy drink that I bought, and I'm pretty sure it's the same one you bought. It was equivalent to like 10 Diet Cokes, like
Yeah.
5 to 7 cups of coffee. Like it was a shitload of caffeine.
Yeah, yours
And,
had a buttload of caffeine. Mine had nothing but B12 in it.
And I'm someone who like works through nights.
Mhm.
Someone who has like a crazy schedule doesn't really drink coffee because of like the side effects
Yeah,
it has on me.
the diuretic side effects and the crash and all that stuff.
Shh, no, we're not talking about that.
No.
We're not talking about how bad I have to shit when I drink coffee. Okay, that's not
Oh.
a topic we're talking about.
I have to pee if I drink too much caffeine.
I mean, that's what diuretic actually means.
Yeah.
Diuretic and diarrhea. That's what I'm
Really?
saying.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't really.
No,
Okay.
it's not. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
So
Poop.
this drink, like we went on an elevator to go like up this condo. You know, it's a condo.
Yeah.
It's not a hotel. So
Wait,
like,
this
the
is
hallway-
recently. This is from a story recently.
No, this is the same story.
Oh,
remember?
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, so we go up the elevator and we're like in this condo, but it's like, you know, it's not a hotel. Like the hallways on the outside.
It was a
Like, it's like
timeshare thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like a big ass balcony
Yeah.
that goes on the outside of all the
Yeah,
rooms.
yeah. That's where we were standing.
And like
Yeah.
the movement of the elevator being so like hyped up on caffeine, like totally messed with my equilibrium. So like walking outside like on this balcony, terrifying. Totally messed me up. Like
Yeah.
crazy.
I think that was one of the turning points for me in heights. I had so
Well-
much B12 in me. I was like pissing Gatorade for a week. But
Well, you've always had an issue with caffeine as well.
well, no. I developed it pretty much around that time is when I really started drinking energy drinks, And then it got really bad between like 21 and 23 or so. I was drinking like 3, 4 monsters a day, and like not a water. Like I would drink the rehabs,
Yeah,
like
you
and be like, "Oh, I'm hydrating."
gotta-
Yeah, no. So it got really bad at a point, and that's what fucked me on the caffeine thing. You know, I'm starting to get back into it. You know, I'm doing, you know, cream sodas and shit. You know, light caffeines here and there, and I get the rush, but it's not as intense as it used to be. I think my body,
yeah, I
after
like
like
that.
4 years of just pure cleansing of not having any of that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Working in the industry that's just very caffeinated, I can't drink coffee anymore because like it. Despite the energy it gives me, the other effects just kind of weigh
Just
it off.
too much.
Are much more negative. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I grew up. I grew up in a. My dad is in
Mhm.
construction. My grandfather's in construction. His father was in construction. So we're talking like 4 generations who were all in like construction.
Hot
Working
damn.
up. Yeah, yeah, it was hot as hell. That's for sure. And so, I helped my dad put up. It sounds so dumb. We put up Christmas lights
Yeah.
during Christmas, and we had a
Yeah. I would
two-story
do the same
home.
thing with my dad. Yeah.
Yeah, and we had a garage that was
Mhm.
only one story, right? So
Mhm.
we would hang up the lights all along like the eaves of the whole house, basically.
Mhm.
Someone who's not comfortable with heights, this is a little bit stressful.
Just slightly.
Not slightly. I'm not like super phobic of heights, but probably the worst of it was when my dad wanted me to hang up the lights
Yeah.
on the part of the roof immediately above like the garage. So the garage is like one
Oh.
story. The roof is like 2 stories,
Yeah.
So like this part where like the garage is there, and then there's like a wall that goes up the whole story and like
Mhm.
another roof, and we have to hang up the lights there.
Yeah.
And it's hard to put a ladder on that sort of thing because obviously it's a roof. It's angled,
Yeah.
My dad was not concerned about this. My dad was on this really big ladder that went up about 10 feet, to about the level of the eaves of the garage.
Yeah.
And he put another ladder that was probably about 8 feet on top of the 45-degree angle of the garage.
Yeah.
A ladder is not stable at 45 degrees. Like the
No.
whole base of it is like at 45 degrees.
That's
My dad wanted me to
Yeah.
climb it while he was just like holding the bottom of it with like his hands, while he's also standing on a ladder that was on the ground.
Oh my god.
And I'm not crazy about heights, like I said. And so I do it because, I'm like 13, 14 at the time. I'm not,
We're young and stupid.
I'm young. I'm young and stupid. And I'm like going out of my gourd, out of fear. And I'm just trying to hang up these lights as efficiently as I can.
Mhm.
And like, the thing is, my dad he just can't grok the fear of heights because he's someone who's seen people fall to their depths, which I feel like should make you understand the fear of heights.
Yeah, you would
But,
think
like,
that would make it worse.
Yeah, but as someone who's done this for literally like 40 years, he like the idea of being afraid of being high up just doesn't make sense to him. It doesn't you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
Like doesn't compute at all. Like when I say this makes me nervous, he doesn't understand that.
Yeah.
So that's back to me jumping out of an airplane to skydive. I'm like, I'm not afraid of heights, but looking outside of an airplane with nothing below me, I think would flip me out.
I can't even be like near a window higher than like the 4th or 5th story anymore. Like I
Like a
get
big ass window.
no, like a window that I could see out of.
Oh shit.
Yeah, my balls run back into my body.
Like you get this like some cultures have a word for it, but it's like this weird urge to like jump over.
Yes, I get that urge because I'm like, ooh, I wonder what it would feel like to fly. And then honestly, looking into the science behind if you were biologically able to fly, as in like a Superman or Wonder Woman type kind of thing. You know,
The
what it would
science,
feel
they
like.
were biologically able to fly.
Yeah. So what your equilibrium and what your insides would feel like when you're actually
Okay.
doing
okay.
the flying.
How about
And
that? Sure.
yeah, and essentially what it sounds like a ridiculous study, but there have been people that have been interested in these types of things, and honestly they said if you're going to be flying around on your own, get used to the feeling of falling constantly. I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Because if you're
True.
flying, you're not necessarily totally inhibited from the pull of gravity, because you'll still feel it.
Well, here's the thing.
You're just more
that-
adept at pulling away from it. So you would feel it in a different way. And they say it's more like that. Like if you lift off the ground, think about just immediately being lifted off the ground to like 20 feet in the air and suspended there. Imagine what that would feel like.
Falling makes you weightless.
Mhm.
So, like, when those tourist weightless flights go, and they fly up in the steep in the air and then fall back down, you feel weightless when they go into free fall, because
Yeah.
that's how free fall feels.
Yeah.
And likewise, when astronauts are in orbit, they're not actually free of gravity. They're in orbit. Orbit means they're locked into gravity. But being in orbit means you're
The pull of
Okay,
the
I'm-
pull
I
of
can't explain
gravity,
this.
the pull of gravity at their position in space is equal to their speed around the planet.
Yes, you put that very well. I was trying to think
Yeah.
of a way to put that, and you
Yeah.
put it exactly the way I wanted
Mhm.
to.
Yeah,
Uh,
they've reached the tangent line of the circle and
They're not-
they're riding it.
Weightless. They're not free of gravity. They're just in a free fall, but they're
Mhm.
moving so fast horizontally that their free fall is, basically the orbit. They're orbiting.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah.
And that's So I mean, I think that's a good point.
Yeah, and they say that's how flying would feel like, if you were
Yeah.
Superman style,
And it feels.
I mean, also
Right.
think about how like they're animated. Female characters that fly usually have their hairs kind of flowing in a little bit more of a, zero G almost kind of way. They're floating there. You can see they bob up and down. And I mean, yeah, we're going on cartoons and shit, but also when you're talking about like Zack Snyder's Superman and whatnot, when he's floating there, his cape isn't just straight down. It's kind of floating there as if there's like that zero G effect, that falling. So I'm
Right.
like,
And that's one of my favorite jokes by Tosh Pono. Back in
Daniel
his original
Tosh?
stand-up, Daniel Tosh. Thank you. Before his original show was his stand-up, and he goes, "How does Superman fly faster? Like, I get that he can fly. I already accept that premise,
Mhm.
which personally is a stupid premise. It's like, I accept that, but how does he fly faster? Is it just more like?" And it's impossible to carry this joke on a podcast, but it just holds his arms up and like concentrates harder.
yeah. Is there just more of that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like, yeah, it makes sense. Like, if Superman's flying is literally a feat of strength, which it is, it's just him jumping super far technically. How does he go faster while in midair?
Yeah. You'd have to think it may be the manipulation of his own mass in relative to the planet.
Superman just has whatever
pretty
power
much like
the authors want him to have.
Well, no, this would be well within the realm of his powers.
I mean, the realm
could-
of his powers.
It's basically if he throws himself to a certain point at a trajectory, he would technically speed up because of air pressure and whatnot, and also he would reach an apex of the jump. Think about that. He would reach a gravitational
Okay,
apex and
okay.
then be pulled back down. So
Okay.
that's
Oh.
faster, quote unquote.
I could. That's
And
actually.
just the
You
magnitude.
came up with that,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
came up with that on the dome, off the dome.
kind of. Yeah.
That's actually a really good explanation. Just like being like out of nowhere. Like that's
Yeah,
I buy it.
yeah,
Sure.
because I'm thinking like, okay, you shoot a ball up in the air. It's gonna have a trajectory, a parabola. It's gonna hit an apex and then it's gonna
Yeah.
come down. On both the up and the down, it looks like it's going a lot faster than everywhere else. It, but I don't know. I just figure gravity would be able to slingshot the same way, but because you're messing with masses, it would create speed in that sense. Because I mean, it's also like slingshotting a satellite around a planet. That's how I'm kind
Right.
of figuring it. Yeah. Except he's
When
still
they
within
slingshot
the
space
atmosphere.
program,
Yeah.
like around Jupiter or whatever, to get to Pluto. Or
Yeah. Oh man, dude, I can't
Oh,
wait
man.
until we send people to Pluto.
Oh yeah, I'll be the first on flight, man.
Oh
I'm
my
telling you.
God, please, can we be like the Suds and Buds podcast, broadcasting from the fucking oh God, what's that crater? Pluto. Yeah.
The Sea of
craters.
Tranquility is on the moon, which just has a great name. And it was not what you're searching for, but I just love the name of
The
that.
Sea of Tranquility. That's on our moon, right?
Yeah. Galileo
Yeah.
actually named that, I think.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, but it's like I had this like thought experiment about it, and it was like,
Mhm.
all these sci-fi cultures have this, colony ship that's like kind of the first way
Hmm.
they get to far off planets because they don't have the speed of light. And like part of me is like, okay, would I go on a colony ship? Like if I wanted, if the opportunity was given to me, and I'd be like, yeah, totally, because
Yeah.
sure, the rest of your life is like kind of sucks. Like you're literally on a ship until you die, and you never get to the place where you want to go. Like it's just too far away. But you're literally part of the like new generation of people who will inhabit this totally different world. Like you're
Yeah.
part of the next step of like human progress. Like to be part of that would be such an honor in a way like you just can't really achieve at any like right now, like in this current point. Like you
Yeah.
can't really like such an honor, such like a point of importance.
Mhm.
It's just not possible like today.
Mhm. Yeah, no,
Maybe
I was thinking about this because I saw kind of going off of that, there was something by the BBC from, oh God, I think it was like 2011 or something like that. It's like a two-part, like 4-hour thing, and it was talking about the first voyage to Pluto. What would possibly happen? Someone ends up dying of leukemia at around Saturn. Um,
damn, you
they
gotta put
leave
more
his
tinfoil
body.
on that shit, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's they wrapped the body in tinfoil and released him into the fucking rings. 'Cause they couldn't keep him. He was literally dead weight. So they just left him into the rings and then they continued on. And here was the craziest part, talking about
What?
Pluto, because it's just like, thank you for tuning into the Suds and Buds podcast from the Vega Terra. Thank you for Yeah, I'm like, Terra. Terra is an extensive landmass. I'm thinking like plateau almost. That kind of thing. And there's
Yeah.
Hayabusa, Pioneer, Vega, Venera, Viking, and Voyager. A lot of V's.
Jesus.
HPV.
HPV. You don't want to get that.
No, that's literally the initials. HPV. Those are the features. Hayabusa, Pioneer, Vega, Venera, Viking, Voyager. Anyway,
Fucking.
but yeah, like part of that was when they actually got to Pluto. It took them 6.5 years, to get all the way out to Pluto.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, no, and that's using technology from like 2011, just projected a few years. I think they only projected to
Well, it
like
took-
2014 or
yeah.
2015.
It took like 6 months to get from like Britain to the Americas. 6 years to get from Earth to Pluto is great.
Yeah, it was like 6.5 years or something like that, and they arrived there. And the main scene that I remember from it is there was an orbiter that 3 of them. There were 6 originally, so one died, so now there's 5, and 3 of them are in the orbiter, and they're studying Chandra up close and like kind of getting a flyby of Chandra and whatnot. But then there are 2 who have landed on the surface of Pluto. Now it's during the winter. It's during the very beginning of the winter, and it was very, very like heavy conversation happens, but not in a lot of words, and it goes kind of like they're staring at the sun from the surface of Pluto. Like if you can just imagine that distance, like you look at the sun from Earth, obviously it changes the sky blue, but a Pluto day is still pretty much pitch black. It's like, what? And they're standing there, and they say, well, it starts to actually snow. And they say, it's like, well, we're the first ones to experience winter on Pluto. What is this, nitrogen? That right there blew my fucking mind. It's like, going on what you're saying, to experience, the seasons or, a lifetime on that kind of world. Your snow wouldn't be H2O, it would be nitrogen.
Yeah, there's a great short story I read in I think it was middle school actually, where it was about this colony on Venus, and everyone had grown up on Venus except the protagonists who had grown up on Earth, and their parents had moved to Venus, and the people on Venus, Venus is a very cloudy planet if you know anything about it.
So basically, it's a floating city, right? I assume.
No, it was on the Earth, it was on the ground, but no one had ever seen the sun.
Oh.
And there was like one day a year where like they would see the sun come out, and the Earth kid would be like, "Hey, yeah, the sun's coming out. Like it'll be great. It'll be awesome." And like all the Venus kids like did not believe her, and like ridiculed her. And basically, she was like super depressed because she hadn't seen the sun. She'd moved, like imagine moving, imagine being like a military brat, like moving towns.
But moving
like,
planets.
A city over.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like not having the same friends you have. Now you're like moving to a whole different literal world where you don't see the sun.
Also, it might take 45 minutes to a good few hours just to communicate with people you know.
Right.
Yeah, because if we're on Pluto, dude, Suds, if we're on Pluto, that's a good... Fuck. How far away is Pluto from...
I mean, the sun literally looks like just another star from Pluto.
It's just a little bit of a brighter star, essentially.
Exactly. Like, it's that far away.
Yeah.
It's like orders of magnitude farther away than... That's the thing. Like, the scale of the universe. There's a great video Bill Nye did on Bill Nye the Science Guy, where he, like, makes the sun 1 meter.
Yeah.
And then he, like, rides his bike out to, like, every planet. Mm-hmm. And, like, it's just so... Even though the sun is, like, so massive, like, the sun is unfathomably big. But, like, the space between planets is just so much larger than, like, you can even fathom.
So, here you go. Here you go. Are you ready to just have your mind fucking blown?
Okay.
This is how far away Pluto is from the Earth. So then add on another 93 million, give or take, from this. 7.3 billion kilometers.
Jesus.
From here.
How many AUs is that?
How many astronomical units?
30. Correct.
30.
Yes. 30. So 30 times the distance that we are from the sun.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 30 times.
Like, imagine,
so it would take a few hours. Yeah, it takes 500 seconds for light to travel from the sun to the Earth. Hold on. 4 hours to Pluto from the sun.
Shit, that's so fucking far.
Yeah, so you send someone a message.
That's the speed of light.
Yeah. You send someone a message to Earth from Pluto, it's at the least 3.5 hour layover just for it to get there.
That's the thing. Radio waves, cellular phones, Wi-Fi, that all moves at the speed of light, which is awesome, but
still has to travel distance
between planets. Yeah, it's the speed of light, which is not great. It's
just
the fastest thing we have, and it's not very fast.
Well,
in terms of the sheer size of the universe, even our solar system, it's Just crazy.
Our solar system, from edge to edge, I'm talking like Kuiper Belt, from just beyond Pluto to the other side of just beyond Pluto. It's about a light year. The Oort cloud adds on an extra probably 2 light years to the entire system.
Shit. That's crazy.
That's
3 light years total? Oort cloud to Oort cloud?
Yeah, about 3 light years all the way across. Now, from that point, the outside of our solar system, it is still another 4.5 light years to the next nearest star.
To Alpha Centauri?
Well, to Proxima Centauri, to be specific.
Proxima Centauri.
Yeah, that's the red dwarf
close.
that
Duh.
orbits. Yeah.
Should have studied my Latin better.
Because then there's Alpha and Beta, which are the 2 big ones in the middle. Which, by the way, I know, right? It's just...
My fucking Latin's lagging. Fuck.
Ba-ba-ba-da.
Obviously, Proxima Centauri.
Yeah. Yeah, but Proxima Centauri, you know what they just found around that star?
Oh, I know.
Do you? Do
They
you
found
said?
planets on the nearest star.
Mm-hmm. Not just on Proxima in the habitable zone. Well, within the habitable zone. We're talking like from the inner edge to the outer edge, there's probably about 3 planets for Proxima.
Jeez.
But for Alpha and Beta, the double star system, there could be as many as 9 planets orbiting those 2 stars.
Okay, so I feel like this is a good point to end the episode before we get into this whole...
Yes.
This is a big conversation.
Because Star Wars is real, it didn't happen a long time ago, it's going to happen in our future.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every science fiction story that we've come up with is only going to happen.